I'm sorry, I forgot what is the Indian time, but later on we will check it. 7:35 or even 36. Thank you very much.
Yeah, 36. Yeah.
Welcome you all on today's webinar, and today's webinar's title is Make Food Your Medicine. My name is Joseph Katona, and I will be the MC for today. And we can name today's webinar is like a kind of 3-in-1. Why? Because we managed to bring you 3 magnificent presenters in one webinar, in one day. So you guys, you're really lucky that in a very short period of time, you can get a great knowledge. And you can not only get a great knowledge from these 3 magnificent presenters, but we also have some exciting quiz prepared for you with the help of my colleague, Miss Vieira. So first, let me introduce our first speaker and presenter. His name is Dr. S. Ranjan from India. Dr. Ranjan is a high professional in medicine, but on top of it, he's also a networker. He joined DXN more than 2 decades ago. He has more than 3 million members in his network, and he has networks in 227 countries. Last country he got a new member is maybe you know the island, beautiful island Haiti. I think every one of us would like to go there. And also you need to know that he has many Crohn ambassadors in his downline, and even Fatemi Ghani is Dr. Ranjan's downline. And Dr. Ranjan is living in Chennai, and I learned from him that however in Europe we have 4 seasons, but in Chennai, in India, where he's living, there are only 3 seasons, and the name of these seasons is the hot, hotter, and hottest. And now I would like to ask Mr. Ranjan, what season you have now?
It's the hottest season now.
It is the hottest season. What does it mean?
It's around 40 degrees Celsius now.
40 degrees. That's
Celsius.
amazing. It is more than double.
Yeah, 104. Yeah. Fahrenheit.
It is more than double what we have here. But before I give you the word, I would kindly ask my colleague Vieira to announce the quiz, which will be very important right after Dr. Ranjan's presentation. Vieira?
Thank you, Joseph.
Good morning, madam. Good morning.
Gentlemen, we prepared one surprise for you today. We will announce questions concerning today's presentations at the end of each presentation. Please write your answers to the section questions on the right bar of your screen. First member with the correct answer will be rewarded with DXN product. Thank you. And winner will be announced at the end of the webinar. So, Dr. Ranjan, you can start your presentation. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. I need to reduce my So, good morning, everybody, and greetings from DXN India. I'm very happy to participate in this symposium today, and I'll share some of my knowledge regarding DXN products, especially Ganoderma Lucidum and the other few products powerful products like Spirulina, Morinzi, Lion's Mane, and Cordyceps. So as Mr. Joseph Katona said, 20 years back, 21 years back, I had an opportunity to join DXN. So let me first share that experience. As Joseph mentioned, I'm a cardiologist, busy cardiologist, and working 14 hours a day non-stop, 24/7. And I have to take care of my heart patients, to do angioplasty, stenting, and if they require surgery, I have to take care of them by giving them to my colleagues, surgical colleagues. So it's a tough job. And I took up cardiology looking at my father. My father was a cardiologist. He got his training in cardiology in 1957 to 1960 at Hospital for Sick Children at Toronto, Canada. So he came back in 1960 to India and started the Department of Cardiology in Chennai. And that is where I got my super specialty degree as doctorate in medicine and cardiology in 1985. So I have been working as a cardiologist for the past 35 years. Even today, I go to my office, I take care of my heart patients, but I have reduced my practice and only in the mornings I go to my office. Now, as I said, I came to know about Ganoderma in 1999. And that time I was a professor of cardiology in one of the medical colleges attached to University of Madras, that is University of Chennai today. And it so happened that I was introduced to one Dr. Clarence Stanislas, who came from Malaysia to establish a DXN business. Dr. Lim had sent him specifically to India to do that job. And he is a medical doctor. He is an allopathic doctor. And he had done a lot of work on Ganoderma. And I happened to meet him through one of my very close friends, family friends, Dr. Ratna and Professor Vasupalaya. Dr. Ratna and Professor Vasupalaya, they were my very close family friends. And Dr. Ratna and Clarence were classmates in Mysore Medical College in Karnataka, state of Karnataka, India. So that's how he directly landed in Chennai, and I got introduced to him, and he was talking about Ganoderma. I was wondering what this guy is talking about Ganoderma, and in my medical curriculum, I have not read anything about Ganoderma. And that was in 99 July, August. And that was the time we had the first testimonial in India. This young lady, a school teacher, had blood cancer, monocytic leukemia, and she happened to be my classmate's patient since childhood. And one day, my friend Dr. Tangaraj called me and said that the young girl suffering from monocytic leukemia, and the doctors in Adayar Cancer Institute, they said she's the terminal stage and she may not live for more than 1 month. And the only solution was to go for a bone marrow transplant, and that costs a lot of money. And in India, I think it costs around 20,000 pounds. So that's a big money, and she's a school teacher and she cannot afford that. And she was asking her family doctor, Dr. Tankaraj, whether there is any alternative treatment available for blood cancer. So at that point of time, I remembered when Dr. Tankaraj called me, I remembered that Ganoderma has got a medicinal benefit for cancers, especially leukemias, breast cancers, and prostatic cancers. There a lot of work was being done. And it so happened that Dr. Clarence gave me a lot of research papers and also a book which he had written on Ganoderma. So I went through that, but I didn't have a great knowledge about Ganoderma because, as I said, I was so busy in my profession, and daily I used to come home by around say 10 p.m. and next day morning I have to be in the hospital at 8 a.m. So that was my daily routine, including Sundays. I cannot take off, and the only time was Sunday afternoon where I can relax and take my family out in the evenings. So when this incident happened, I shared the knowledge with my friend Dr. Tangaraj, and the patient was willing to take Ganoderma because there was no option for her. So from that time in 1999, the DXN did not have its office in India, and Dr. Clarence had some samples which he had brought from Malaysia. So we put the patient on RGGL, and I was sure that she is going to die within a month because her condition was so bad. She was bleeding all over. She was unable to walk. She was not able to take anything. After a month, my friend called me saying that the patient is feeling slightly better. The bleeding has come down. She is able to walk up to the bathroom, washroom, and she is able to take some food. And that was totally surprising to me. And we advised her to take Ganoderma RGGL on a regular basis. I think she was on 6 pads of RGGL every day. And we followed her up. And at the end of 3 months, she was almost normal. And by 4th month, she was able to join her work as a school teacher. So that was the first testimonial. And that opened up my mind. And again, I went through the literature about Ganoderma. And the DXN started its operations in India in 2000, April. To be exact, 10th of April 2000. And we all became members. Actually, I became a temporary member even before that. And my friend, Professor Vaswalaya and Dr. Ratna, they were responsible for bringing DXN to India, and he gave his son's name as one of the directors of DXN, because in any country, the local person has to be one of the directors. So that's how the business started in India. And at that point of time, I had resigned my job and went to US for about 4 months with my wife. And when I came back, these guys were doing a lot of networking and talking about Ganoderma. And after I came back, I was again busy in my practice. And after 6 months, that is in December 2000, I became a star agent. When I came from US, they said, Ranjan, you have become a star agent. How come that? Because my downlines were doing. And that's how I started my DXN. But I was not concentrating on the business so much because till 2010, I was so busy in my practice and I did not concentrate much on DXN. But Professor Vaswala, being an economics professor, he used to teach me about microeconomics, and he used to talk about the network marketing and how one can earn a big income or a secondary income or a residual income. So in 2010, 11, when I started slowing down my practice, I thought, well, why not I get a residual income? So that was the motivation for me to look into DXN business again. So meanwhile, I gathered a lot of information about Ganoderma and the DXN products. And today there is so much of research information available on Ganoderma. And let me go in detail in very simple language. I will not talk much about my field of allopathy. So some basic information which is very important to know about Ganoderma. So all of you know that Ganoderma is a ancient herb, and I'm not getting the slide scrolled up. Joseph, can you do it from your end? Joseph?
Yes.
Yeah, can you change the next slide, because I'm not able to do it from my end. Can you just help me out?
Please,
Is it possible to
please
do
try
that?
to. No, because it is on your, on your computer, the slide.
Okay. I'm not too good in the computers.
No, no problem.
So,
Please try to.
yeah, I'm getting it. Is it okay? Yeah,
That's
I'm
okay.
getting it.
Now it's okay. Yeah.
So the basic understanding is that, health is wealth. The health is the most precious asset what we can have. When health is gone, everything is gone. Any amount of money cannot buy health. So it's extremely important that we should be healthy, and we should be able to take care of our health, because a lot of people, they ignore health when they are young, and insult the health, and end of the day they become very sick by 40, 50, get into a lot of age related illnesses. That's a non-communicable disease like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease. So that's very common today. And WHO, World Health Organization, defines health by not the mere absence of disease, but one should have 4 pillars of health. That is physical health, mental health, social health, and spiritual health. And added to this, I can say financial health, because in the old age, it's very, very important that you should be able to buy your own medicine and food. So financial health is also very, very important. And to quote Hippocrates, he said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. So food as a medicine, that's a fundamental concept. And when we talk about food, healthy food, we talk about the balanced diet, the carbohydrates, the proteins and fats, which are basically required for our macronutrition. And carbohydrates, you need to have around 60 to 65% of diet, protein around 25 to 30, and fats around 10 to 15%. But what is happening today is, because of unhealthy diet, we take a lot of these fats and high cholesterol diet, which is basically, that leads to a lot of health problems. And the micronutrients, they are also play a very big role in protecting our health. That is vitamins, minerals, and trace elements. And normally we are supposed to get that from vegetables and fruits, but now there are pesticides and chemicals. They spoil our fruits and vegetables, preservatives, and all those preservatives and pesticides and chemicals, they become poison. So for a healthy life, you need a healthy diet, and especially in the Western world, there is overnutrition. So when you take too much of calories and too much of fat, that leads to obesity, which again predisposes to what we call it as non-communicable diseases like blood pressure, hypertension, heart disease, cancer. So basically, food becomes our medicine, and we need to concentrate on a healthy diet. As far as Ganoderma is concerned, it's a very powerful food, and it can never become a poison. It can only become a medicine, because we know that anything in excess, it causes damage to our body. Excessive salt, excessive sugar, excessive fat, when they get accumulated in the body because of our unhealthy diet, it can become a poison. Water is very essential for our life. but water too can become a poison because excess water, especially in conditions like heart failure or renal failure, that's kidney failure, water can become a poison. So we need to understand that food can also become a poison, but as far as Ganoderma is concerned, it can never become a poison, and any amount of Ganoderma will help us to become healthy. It's called as the king of herbs, and it is known to us for more than 5,000 years. The Buddhist monks and the Japanese have been using it for so many thousands of years in the form of decoction. And Ganoderma is a very powerful herb in the traditional Chinese medicine. Now, the modern research has shown us that it has more than 400 active ingredients, and none of the ingredients they are toxic to the body. And Ganoderma has powerful components and also certain alkaloids which have medicinal benefits. So it's called as the king of herbs, reishi in Japan, and lingzi. Lingzi means elixir for long life. All these 400 ingredients are classified under 5 major headings: polysaccharides, organic germanium, adenosine, triterpenoids, and ganoderic essence. And one important thing, basics that we should remember is Ganoderma acts on the body, and the body treats a disease. So our body is a powerful doctor. And I remember in our textbook of surgery, it's mentioned that I dress the wound, God healed it. It's not God, it is only the body healed your wound. So in allopathy, we give medicines to support the body, and ultimately the body has to respond. So we need to understand that body is our powerful doctor, and Ganoderma, by acting on the body, helps our body to be healthy, and the medicinal benefits of Ganoderma can be useful in many disease situations. Now, talking about the active constituents in Ganoderma, the polysaccharide fractions, Ganoderma A, B, and C, they balance the blood sugar. GA beta glucan, they have anti-inflammatory effect. That's it reduces the pain and swelling. The beta D glucan, again, they act on the immune system, balance the immune system. And GZ and beta glucan, they are powerful anti-cancer agents. Various fractions of ganoderic acids, they stabilize our cholesterol levels. All of you know that high cholesterol is a risk factor, the major risk factor for heart disease, and we need to have the bad cholesterol at a control level, that's a LDL, that's a low density lipoprotein, and have more of a good cholesterol, that's the high density lipoprotein, HDL. So there are not many drugs to increase the HDL, and probably Ganoderma can help your body to synthesize more HDL. The oleic acid fraction, lingzi-8, cyclooctasulfur, they act as the anti-allergic agents. Allergy is a basic mechanism by which a lot of disease is caused. So Ganoderma can be a very powerful anti-allergic because of these components. As certain alkaloids present in Ganoderma can act as a very powerful heart tonic. It has got antiviral properties. It protects the liver. The ganosterone fraction protects the liver. And the ganoderic acids, they have a very powerful effect on the cardiovascular system by ACE inhibiting effect, that is the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibiting effect. This effect reduces the blood pressure and also the workload on the heart. So Ganoderma is a very powerful heart tonic. One of the important components present in Ganoderma is adenosine and guanosine. Ganoderma is rich in adenosine, and adenosine is present in every cell. And that is the main source of energy as a compound as adenosine triphosphate. When it's converted into adenosine diphosphate, the high energy phosphate is the energy source for every cell in the body. So naturally, when you consume Ganoderma, you consume the high concentration of adenosine ganoderma present in Ganoderma, and it helps recharges every cell. In addition to that, it improves the blood circulation. It has got anti-platelet effect, and it has got analgesic. It's a pain-reducing effect and muscle and acts as a muscle relaxant. So one of the powerful component of Ganoderma is adenosine and guanosine. And adenosine is used as a medicine in cardiology in certain situations. We give injection intravenous adenosine. So this adenosine is present in Ganoderma in high concentration. The uridine and uracil fraction, they increase the production of interferon and interleukin, which are primarily responsible for upgrading our immune system. They can also act as antiviral agents. Some of the glycoproteins present in Ganoderma, they act as anti-tumor, that's anti-cancer. Now recently they have identified two antibiotics, ganomycin A and B, which are antibiotics, and their uses is being studied. So when you consume Ganoderma, it protects our health, and we can also get the medicinal benefits in disease situations. And to call back from my allopathic knowledge, 70% of allopathic medications are derived from nature. For example, I can say that the digoxin, which is got from a common flowering plant, that's the foxglove. The botanical name is Digitalis purpura, that is used for heart failure. And for 300 years, that is the only drug available for heart failure. Now we have digoxin injections available in to help the heart in emergency situations. Until this day, we don't have any other drug for heart failure. So it's a simple plant product. Why take hydroxychloroquine? Hydroxychloroquine, now it is used as an antiviral for the COVID or for malaria. That is got from a common the tree, the cinchona bark, the extract of cinchona bark. And I can name any number of drugs which the basic source are going to be from the nature and herbs. And three types of anti-cancer drugs, vincristine, vinblastine, vinorelbine, they are all obtained from the flowering plant Vinca rosea, which is called as a periwinkle. And India grows a lot of this periwinkle, and we export it to Japan and Germany to produce these anti-cancer agents. They are used for multiple cancers, breast cancer, lymphatic cancers. So the nature has given us a lot of these drugs which are used in allopathy. And other anti-cancer drugs like paclitaxel, docetaxel, they are all derived from the yew tree, bark of the yew tree. And we have paclitaxel coated stents, and they have a property of protecting the stents, not allowing it for acute closure. So they are called drug coated stents. And the good old the queen of antibiotics, that's penicillin, injection penicillin, that is derived from a fungus, the Penicillin notatum. The queen of antibiotics, the penicillin is used for many gram-positive infections, and that is indicated in prevention of rheumatic fever. All of you know that rheumatic fever is very prevalent in the third world countries because of the streptococcal infection, sore throat. And nowadays we see a lot of reduction in the rheumatic fever and the rheumatic heart disease, because primarily we use penicillin to treat any kind of sore throat and bronchitis. So the point is, the nature has given us a lot of the source for us to get the modern medicines. Only 30% of medicines, they are purely chemical. Of course, we have the modern treatment like transplants, heart transplant, liver transplant, kidney transplants, and they're all high tech treatment modalities. And of course, we know that allopathy is the choice for emergency, but for chronic illnesses we do not have many drugs. Either we have to depend on toxic chemicals or steroids. By themselves, they are very harmful to the body. That's a limitation. So coming back to Ganoderma, I said that it acts on the body. The three important action of Ganoderma on the body are: one is a detoxification function, the second is a immunomodulating effect. It modulates our immune system, upgrades our immune system. And the third is the vasodilating effect, meaning that it increases the blood circulation, both in macrocirculation and microcirculation. Talking about detoxification, we are all exposed to a lot of toxins from the atmosphere, toxins from our food, and there are also plenty of toxins produced in our body by the process of oxidation. So oxygen is used for the oxidation process, and the byproducts of oxidation process are maybe powerful poisons to us. They are called as free radicals, and the free radicals are very toxic to us, and they can cause very many diseases. When free radicals accumulate in our body, and also when the production is high with the unhealthy diet, we need systems to neutralize and eliminate those free radicals. So we have systems, what is called in our body as antioxidant, the effects, the systems which will basically eliminate free radicals. And the food and food supplements, which basically acts as antioxidants, are useful in eliminating this stress caused by free radicals. And Ganoderma is the most powerful antioxidant known to us. Ginseng is a good antioxidant, but when compared to the ginseng, Ganoderma is 5 times more potent than ginseng. There are 2 types: Siberian ginseng, and it's very popular in the Southeast Asia, ginseng. And basically, because of the powerful antioxidant effect, it's highly valued. And Ganoderma is 5 times more powerful like ginseng, and we assess the power of the antioxidant effect by the ORAC value, oxygen radical absorbent capacity. And as I mentioned, the Ganoderma is a very powerful antioxidant. And free radicals, they are associated with the premature aging process, cancer, heart disease, brain disease. So it's extremely important that we should take our food, which is less possible to liable to cause excessive production of free radicals. That means a healthy diet, reduce on the consumption of fat and high cholesterol food. So free radicals, they can cause very many diseases. And when we daily consume antioxidants, these powerful antioxidants, then we delay the aging process. The Ganoderma has got an anti-aging effect, the anti-cancer effect. So Ganoderma is the most powerful antioxidant known to us. And when you consume Ganoderma on a regular basis, we can prevent very many diseases. So there are so many diseases directly related to aging process. As I said, cancer, heart disease, kidney disease, uh, brain disease. You can talk about chronic degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinsonism. So they are all related to the aging process. What's happening today is in the younger generation, there's a premature aging and premature disease. Genetically, God has created us, the Homo sapiens, to live for 120 years. The genetic coding is for us 120 years. The longest living mammal is sea turtle. It can live up to 300 years. The problem today is a lot of youngsters are getting into what is called as a lifestyle diseases, and at this present point of time, it's extremely important that the younger generation should be focused on healthy diet, taking nutritious diet, balanced diet, and also increase their immunity and postpone the aging process. So Ganoderma can help in these situations. The next powerful effect of Ganoderma on the body is that it's a powerful immunomodulator. The polysaccharide fraction and the ganoderic acid fraction, they increase the production of interleukin 1 and 2 and interferon, and increase both the cell-mediated immunity and humoral-mediated immunity. The most powerful immunomodulator is the mother's milk, because the immune system has to develop during the first 3 to 5 years of life. When the baby does not get mother's milk, the child's immune system is very weak. That is why the WHO recommends that a child should be breastfed for 2 years. Then only, all the vital organs will develop fully and very healthy, and especially this applies to the immune system. And Ganoderma is a very powerful immunomodulator, and I can say that next to mother's milk, Ganoderma is the most powerful immunomodulator. And of course, we have some vaccines to prevent certain illnesses, a specific immunity to increase by vaccines. We can avoid the very many infections. And in India, we almost give about 8 to 9 types of vaccines within first 2 years when the child is born. But it is unfortunate that many children, when their immunity is low, when their general immunity is low, specific immunity is low, because of the malnutrition, undernutrition, and the mother's milk being denied, a lot of children die. And world over, so many hundreds and thousands of children die in a given day, especially in the third world countries. We cannot afford to do that. So by increasing the immunity, we can prevent very many deaths, especially in children, due to infections. And in the third world countries, the most common killer disease is not the very what shall I say, very bad diseases. Even they can die of simple diarrhea. Simple diarrhea can kill very many children, malnourished children, and that is why WHO is doing a great job in preventing the malnutrition. And people with children, they give the high protein diet, healthy diet, so that a lot of infections and death can be avoided in these children. So Ganoderma, by increasing immunity, it can protect us, especially our children, because Ganoderma is absolutely safe for children to take. That's why we have a powerful product proposal. And at the same time, I said that it can modulate the immune system, especially the hyperimmune status. And this hyperimmune status can lead to diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, polyarthritis nodosa, systemic lupus, psoriasis. These group of diseases are called as autoimmune disease. And since Ganoderma has got that medicinal benefit, it can help in these situations, in these diseases. By acting on the immunity, it can upgrade our immune system, and our immune system can kill the cancer cells. That's one way of Ganoderma killing the cancer cells. The third powerful effect of Ganoderma, as I mentioned, is the adenosine and guanosine component, which act as powerful vasodilators. And as I mentioned, adenosine is present in every cell, and its adenosine injection is being used in cardiology, especially for a condition called paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia. That is the drug of choice. And the other actions of adenosine are the increasing the blood flow in the microcirculation. Microcirculation is very, very critical for us. Microcirculation meaning that those blood vessels which are 1/100th the thickness of the hair. So blood flow has to happen in those very minute vessels so that every cell in the body gets good oxygen, good nutrition. There is no drug which primarily acts on the microcirculation. So Ganoderma, by having a high concentration of adenosine and guanosine, it can help in microcirculation. And the microcirculation is good, then your cell function is good, your organ function is good, and you stay healthy. Especially in the old age, our health as well as the organ functions are primarily dependent on blood circulation. Because as the blood circulation comes down, our aging process also happens very quick. So if we can keep up our blood circulation, then we can keep up our health in the old age. That is why the cardiologists say walking is the best medicine. Why walking is the best medicine? Because the heart can pump more blood when you walk, when you jog, when you do some exercise, when you swim, when you cycle. They're called isometric exercise. So when you do that, the microcirculation is very good, and it helps the whole body, all your vital organs. So Ganoderma, by nature, it has got adenosine and guanosine, which can improve the microcirculation. So Ganoderma, by improving the blood flow, can help to keep up our health. So to recapitulate, I said that three powerful effects of Ganoderma on the body, that is the detoxification function, eliminating the free radicals, that is the antioxidant effect, and two, the immunomodulating effect, where it can increase our immune system. At the same time, by balancing the immune system, it can help in autoimmune diseases. The third powerful effect being on the blood vessels, especially microcirculation. It increases the blood flow. That means good oxygen and good nutrition for every cell in the body. So these effects, they are helpful in protecting our health. When we talk about the certain disease situations where Ganoderma can help, along with the medications, when you consume Ganoderma, RGGL, it can help in some of the disease situations. It's a natural painkiller. All of you know that the most used and misused drug today is painkiller. And people get into problems by consuming painkillers. It's not necessary that you should take too many painkillers. I have seen people reacting very badly to one single drug of one dose of painkiller. They can have an acute renal shutdown, they can bleed somewhere. So be careful when you are using painkiller. Ganoderma by its anti-inflammatory effect, is a natural, safe painkiller. And when you add Morinzi, it has got a specific action, COX-2 enzyme. I'll mention about that. So Morinzi and Ganoderma can act as natural painkiller, especially chronic pains associated with aging pain, aging process, or arthritis. It has anti-allergic properties, and it can help in certain allergic disorders. Many components of Ganoderma, they have anti-allergic effect: lanostan, linseed, cyclooctasulfur, and we are allergic to so many, products. We use day in and day out, perfumes, lotions, creams, and even the pesticides, chemicals. Any kind of such products can cause allergy. Especially, you need to be careful with the hair dye. That's the worst product that one can use. So use natural hair dye. So allergic is a basic mechanism by which a lot of diseases are produced, and along with the anti-allergic medications, when you consume Ganoderma, it helps in allergic diseases. Sometimes we are forced to give steroids as anti-allergic medication, and you know that steroids are not good, even though they can help in acute situations. In the long term, they are not good. They can lead to a lot of side effects. The another powerful effect of Ganoderma is the anti-cancer effect. It was discovered in 1977 in Japan, that it has got a very powerful anti-cancer effect. Basically, it is carcinostatic, meaning that it arrests the multiplication of cancer cells, and directly it can kill the cancer cell by stimulating the natural killer cells. And also there is another action of Ganoderma on the cancer cells. It can cut off the blood supply to the cancer cells. So by multiple mechanisms, Ganoderma is able to act as an anti-cancer. And when we use the Ganoderma for cancer patients, we need to give very high dose of Ganoderma, that is 24 grams of Ganoderma every day. That's around 30 Rg and Gl every day for at least for about 6 months to 1 year. So when you are combining Ganoderma with the other forms of treatment for cancer, like radiation, chemotherapy, and surgery, a lot of patients, they get benefit. In my own practice, a lot of patients are benefited by a high dose of Ganoderma. And all these radiation, chemotherapy, they have very bad side effects. So a lot of patients, they may not be able to tolerate. And one of the benefit of Ganoderma is that it can reduce the side effects of radiation and chemotherapy. Of course, we know that all cancers, they do not behave well. There are good cancers and bad cancers, and especially sarcomas, melanomas. They don't behave well, and invariably they treating those patients is difficult. And another important thing is a lot of patients, they come in stage 3 and stage 4, that is advanced stage. So then we can only think of palliation, and we may not be able to cure the disease. I'm afraid that cancer will overtake heart disease as the #1 disease in the coming years. The days are not far off, maybe in another 10 years, 20 years. Of course, now heart disease is a major killer all over the world, and cancer is definitely going to overtake heart disease. And in this situation, critical situation, I think prevention is better than cure. And when you consume Ganoderma regularly, we can prevent cancer. The another important effect of Ganoderma on the heart and blood pressure is that by the angiotensin converting enzyme effect, which is brought on by the ganoderic acid fraction F, it can help in reducing the blood pressure. So when you give Ganoderma along with blood pressure medications, it can control the blood pressure. And nowadays we see a lot of youngsters getting into these lifestyle diseases, high blood pressure because of the obesity, high salt intake, and less physical work. So blood pressure is incidence is very high, both in developed countries and the developing countries. So, and Ganoderma, by its ACE inhibiting effect, it can help to control the blood pressure and also help in heart failure. This ACE inhibiting effect can reduce the load on the heart so that the heart is able to pump better. So for people with heart failure, this ACE inhibiting effect can help. Ganoderma also can reduce the risk factors for heart disease, like high cholesterol. As I mentioned, we need to improve our good cholesterol. That's our HDL, high density lipoprotein, and our diet pattern has totally changed in that we consume a lot of high fat diet. So the high fat diet is responsible for the high cholesterol levels. And even though nowadays they say that cholesterol may not be a risk factor, but it's a fact that the low density lipoprotein leads to heart disease and vascular disease. So Ganoderma can help in balancing the cholesterol levels and can also increase the HDL. There is no drug which can increase the high density lipoprotein, which is a good cholesterol. The only way to increase the HDL is to do regular walking and exercise. It's a very powerful brain tonic. It increases the memory. It makes us brisk and active. It can modulate our sleep function. And regarding the sleep function, the caution is that we need to sleep for at least 7 hours a day. To go to bed early and get up early. That by 10:30, 11 p.m. you should be go to bed, and by 6 o'clock, 6:30, if you can get up, it is fine. We need about 7 hours of sleep, and a lot of youngsters, they don't have proper sleep. That's a problem, which leads to increased the catecholamine levels in their blood, increased blood pressure. So all these they're translated into the heart disease or the disease happening in the young. So Ganoderma modulates the sleep function, and you can have a natural good sleep. Ganoderma is called as a spiritual herb of spiritual potency. The Buddhist monks have been taking Ganoderma for so many thousands of years. By calming the mind, they are able to improve their spirituality. And WHO says that the fourth pillar of health is spirituality. It can help in patients with diabetes, the Ganoderma A, B, and C and fraction. They balance the blood sugar. So it's very useful for diabetics. Apart from the medicines, if you consume Ganoderma, you'll be able to control Ganoderma in a better way. It's an insulin synthesizer. It can address the diabetic complications like diabetic foot, neuropathy, and non-healing ulcers, which are very common in chronic diabetics. And my mother is consuming Ganoderma for diabetic neuropathy, and she's on the Ganoderma for more than 12 years. She's 85 years, and she's hale and healthy. And I am also consuming Ganoderma for the past 20 years. I take about 6 pairs of RGGL every day. Ganoderma is a very powerful liver tonic, heart tonic, brain tonic, and kidney tonic. The organic germanium present in Ganoderma stimulates and improves various brain functions. Especially, it can be useful in chronic neurological diseases. And to add something for the age-related degenerative disorders of brain, the Alzheimer's, Parkinsonism, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, the virgin coconut oil can help. The virgin coconut oil has 50% lauric acid, and this is converted into monolaurin, and this monolaurin acts as a ketone to recharge the brain cells, and actually in these diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinsonism, it can improve their conditions. So a lot of work is being done. I don't know whether virgin coconut oil is available. DXN virgin coconut oil is available in UK and Sweden, but it's very much available in India, in Asia, in other Middle East, and the Malaysia. So Ganoderma is very useful for various brain disorders. It can improve and regulate various organ functions. When the organ functions are good, your health is maintained. We talk about rejuvenation. There's something like recharging the cell. When you consume Ganoderma, basically we have organelle which is called as a mitochondria in every cell. That is the source of energy production for every cell, and Ganoderma can stimulate the production of energy from that mitochondria, and improve the mitochondrial function. So that's why when you consume Ganoderma, you feel very energetic. And the regeneration function is also very critical at the old age. I mentioned that reduction of blood supply happens in the old age, and that is responsible for the aging process. Like that, our cell regeneration function also comes down. And once we are able to keep up the regeneration of the cells in our body in different organs, we can be healthy in the old age. When 40% of the cells is not lost in an organ, it fails. Let it be heart, let it be liver. So when we are able to keep up the cell regeneration function, the cell population is kept intact and we can be healthy. And this is a basic idea of doing transplantation, bone marrow transplant, or whatever, transplantation. The cells are able to regenerate. So by consuming Ganoderma, one can get this regeneration function, and the regeneration function can help in the old age. It's a very powerful adaptogen, meaning that an adaptogen is a food or food supplement. It can help in, it's a non-toxic food supplement, non-specific, and has got overall normalizing effect. We have many adaptogens, and in DXN we have Spirulina, we have Murinji as adaptogens. When you consume adaptogens regularly, it can protect our health and prevent diseases. Ganoderma is a very powerful anti-stress herb. Let it be chemical stress induced by free radicals, physical stress, or oxidative stress. It can help to handle any kind of stress, and also by calming the body, calming the mind, it can help in the mental stress. So a very powerful anti-stress herb. As far as the heart is concerned, I mentioned it is a very powerful heart tonic because of its multiple beneficial effects on the heart, the vasodilating effect, the antiplatelet effect, the ACE inhibiting effect, and also by controlling the risk factors for heart disease, by reducing the blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterols, and also the stress levels. So Ganoderma is a very powerful heart tonic, and it protects the heart, and it can also be very helpful in heart patients. So these are some of the important medicinal benefits I have discussed. And if you want to have further information, kindly go to pubmed.gov. You have so many thousands and thousands and thousands of references in this PubMed, and most of the studies are done in animal models. Now the clinical trials, they have been started, especially in cancer and immunity. A lot of work is being done, and clinical trials are being done, and in immunity in HIV patients, they are found to be useful. So please go through PubMed and get the information. And Ganoderma is a king of herbs, the herb of longevity, and when you consume Ganoderma regularly, you protect your health. How much Ganoderma to take in a day? Average around 5 grams, 4 to 5 grams of Ganoderma every day. That's around 6 pairs of RGGL every day. I take 10 pairs every day, apart from 10 spirulina and Morinzi, because I'm aging every day, so I need more. So when you consume more, the benefit is more, and the mega dose, the large dose, is required for treating cancer patients. Like the certain documentations, the references. This is our textbook of cardiology, edited by Braunwald, Eugene Braunwald. He's called as a father of modern cardiology. He lives in US and highly respected cardiologist. And in this textbook of cardiology, there is a chapter on complementary medicine and alternative medicine. This book is our Bible, our Quran, our Bhagavad Gita. And in that, I was surprised to find this chapter, complementary and alternative medicine, approaches to the management of patients with heart disease. In my opinion, this chapter should not be there in our textbook of cardiology, allopathy. There they discuss about yoga, meditation, acupressure, so many things, supplements, and you can see that green algae, that's our spirulina, which gives a lot of micronutrition to our body, especially the heart, can help in heart patients, and also Ganoderma lucidum, our Ganoderma, which can help in prevent heart disease as well as to help heart patients. This is our Indian Heart Journal. We get it bi-monthly, and there was an article which appeared in September-October issue 2018. The original article, the foot article, the title being the role of polysaccharide peptide of Ganoderma lucidum as a potent antioxidant against atherosclerosis in high risk and stable angina pectoris. And they have concluded saying that the polysaccharide fraction of Ganoderma lucidum is a potent antioxidant against pathogenesis, that is causation of atherosclerosis, aging of the arteries, and it can help in stable angina patients and high-risk patients of heart disease. So these are two, the latest references what I can quote in my specialty. Of course, when you go to the PubMed, you have a lot of information available. Just few points about the other product, the spirulina. The spirulina has got a lot of micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and trace elements. It has got phycocyanin and chlorophyll. It can help in increasing our hemoglobin levels, because hemoglobin is the main component of the blood which carries oxygen to every tissue in the body. And the hemoglobin has to be 14 grams per cent, but in third world countries, the major problem is malnutrition and anemia, meaning that anemia, by definition, it is hemoglobin which is less than 12. 90% of India, the women have a hemoglobin of less than 10. So it's extremely important that we need to have a good hemoglobin levels, and spirulina will help you to improve the hemoglobin levels, and it can reduce the cholesterol. It has got a immune strengthening effect. It's also an antioxidant, and it gives a lot of nutrition to cells. The micronutrients, as I mentioned, vitamins, minerals, and trace elements. And the World Health Organization, they are fighting malnutrition and anemia through the INSAN, especially in the third world countries and Africa. And the main food supplement which is used for treating malnutrition is spirulina. That's a big project. So when you consume spirulina, you get all the micronutrients which you are supposed to derive from the fruits and vegetables. So normally we recommend about 1 to 2 grams of spirulina, but in cases of acute malnutrition, you can go up to 5 to 10 grams. So if you take around, say, 6 to 8 candies of spirulina, it's absolutely fine. And regarding Morinzi, that's also a nature's gift. And we have DX and Morinzi. Two scientists, they did a lot of research on Morinzi, Neil Solomon, Ralph Henneke. So one of the essential component is prozeronase in the present in noni, and this zeronin is converted into zeronin, which is an alkali, which is plays an important role in protecting the cell, and in situations of stress, this zeronin is very, very important. Our body requires more zeronin. So there is no other natural source of zeronin, and body also cannot produce zeronin. So when you consume noni, because of a high concentration of zeronin, the body zeronin requirement is taken care of, and that is translated into cell health. It has noni has got damnacanthal. Damnacanthal has got cancer fighting ability. It can stimulate our immune system, especially the T cells and the killer cells, the natural killer cells. So noni can stimulate, not only stimulate the immune system, but has an anti-cancer effect. Another powerful component of noni is scopolamine, which has got an analgesic effect. It's a painkiller, as I mentioned earlier. It has got a specific action on the COX-2 enzyme, that is the cyclooxygenate enzyme. And we give a lot of drugs which are acting on this enzyme, COXIB. They are all called as COXIBs, rofecoxib, celecoxib, etoroxicib. They are good painkillers, but they have a lot of side effects. And Morinji is a safe painkiller combined with the Ganoderma, because it specifically acts on this COX-2 enzyme, and it can take care of chronic painful conditions like arthritis. Scopolamine is a precursor of serotonin. Serotonin it plays a big role in our as a mood elevator. It's a feel-good hormone, and it can help in states of anxiety and depression. And if you take, there are a lot of nutraceuticals present in Morinda citrifolia. There is noni. I'm not going through that. So thing is, it has got all the essential amino acids and certain alkaloids which are very important for our body function. So Morinji is a powerful adaptogen. It's an alkaline food. It has an antioxidant. It has got pain-killing effect, and it can modulate the immune system. So taking about 15 ml to 60 ml of noni every day helps our body and keeps us healthy. A word about lion's mane. I'm sure that lion's mane is available in UK. This lion's mane helps our brain and the nervous system. It promotes the production of nerve growth factor. So that's one of the important effects. Of course, it has got contains many amino acids and rich in nutrients. But one of the main benefits of lion's mane is on the nervous system. It can help in regenerations of the myelin sheath. So it can help in neuropathies. So 4 to 6 candies of lion's mane every day will help us in the old age for the brain disorders as well as neuropathies. And about cordyceps, I think it should be available there. Cordyceps also a good food supplement, and it helps on increasing our immune system. The main action is on the vascular system. It protects our blood vessels, and also it's good for our kidney and the heart and lungs. So at this point of time, because of our COVID problem, I think cordyceps can play a great role, as well as our RGGL, by increasing our immune system. So 4 to 6 candies of cordyceps every day can help us. So I'm sure that you will realize that health is wealth. The best investment what you can ever make in your own health. And to quote Swami Vivekananda, a great saint, he said, wisdom lies not in the amount of knowledge acquired, but in the degree of its application. Of course, we do learn a lot. We have a lot of knowledge, but unfortunately, we don't apply in the proper way. So we do read about a lot of these food supplements, and the balanced diet. The problem is the younger generation, they are not focused. They are focused on other activities. So it's extremely important that at the present point of time, as I mentioned, we should take care of our health, prevent diseases, upgrade our immune system, take care of our nutrition, and take care of our health. So I'm grateful to Dr. Lim Sujan, Dr. Lim Sujan, for giving us such powerful DXN products. And I've been in DXN for 20 years. And as I said, casually only, I knew about DXN and became a member. And today I am enjoying a good residual income from DXN as a crown diamond. As Joseph mentioned, I have 3 million members under me. I didn't do it. The credit is not for me. I didn't do it. It is a DXN powerful system. The marketing plan did that. I never focused on money in DXN because I come from a very wealthy family. My father being a cardiologist, I was born with a golden spoon. But it's only, the God's gift. DXN was given to me, and I'm a DXN today, enjoying my almost retired life, semi-retired life in my profession, and I'm thankful to all the family members of DXN, whom I'll be able to help with my knowledge. And once again, I thank Dr. Lim Sujan for giving this opportunity. I thank my sponsor, Professor Vaspalaya and Dr. Ratna, for getting me into DXN. And I wish you all the best. Go Crown. God bless. Thank you.